The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to take a look at the DAX, as you can see here. Has a possibility over the last 7 or 8 days making a very nice 1-3-5 pattern. Very, very interesting pattern here. But the one that really is exciting, folks, and I mean really exciting, and that is the one for the FTSE. You'll notice that the London market is making a beautiful ABCD down here near the 50% level. What's interesting about this started back on January 11th, 2 weeks ago, and here we are. It looks like we're making some type of a bottom in at this level. That was a double top up there, as you can see. So that should be some pretty good support. Folks, this has been a very interesting week. If you remember, we started the week looking at that gold market and the fact that it had to hold at the 1275 level, which was a spot-on 382 retracement. It actually held it 3 times. It held it on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And you'll notice here now we're up to 1288 already. That was the last price that I saw. That was a very, very important number. And if you remember the silver market, the number we were looking at in the silver was also a perfect 382 at $15.29 an ounce. And we're sharply higher than that right now. That has very bullish potential, folks. Above 1,300 in gold, that thing could really go, because it took 2 weeks to make a 382 retracement of $22 from the high. That $25 from the high that we made at 1,300, back in late December. So that's extremely important. That's all I can say. And as a matter of fact, that low that we had at 1275 was pretty much spot on to the lunar eclipse and perigee that we had with the full moon here on the 21st. Today is a special day. We have Samuel Archibald Arrington Hicks Crawford. Sam Crawford will be our guest of Crawford Perspectives, and he will be chatting with us a little bit later. I wanted to bring the silver chart to your attention here today, because I think you can see here, this is what we were looking to see what happened. And as you'll notice that we went exactly down to that 1529 level. And not only that, folks, it took to make the 382 took 2 weeks. That's bullish. I mean, that means the sellers really have to hammer it down there, and they can't get it to go below the 382. That's bullish action. There's no other way to look at it. That's just the way we see it. Okay, now we got a couple other markets that look really interesting that most of you folks don't trade, but they're instrumental to the rest of the world, because they're related to interest rates. Let's just take a look here. We're going to take a little trip on our merry-go-round with Toto, our little dog. And we're going to go look at the German bond. We're going to go over there to the Munich, and we're going to see here. This is a long-term weekly chart, folks. Look at the high that we made back in 2016. See the low in 2018. You see the high where we are now. That, boys and girls, is known as a Gartley pattern, and that is a very bearish pattern. And we should be getting ready to move lower in the German bond, which means interest rates over there are most probably getting ready to go higher. That's what it looks like, at least from the area that we're watching right now. Now, what we should do, and that's what we will do, is we're going to go to a little bit shorter time frame here and take a look at this same German bond over the past month, starting in January, and you'll be able to see that it's making a beautiful 3-drive to a top pattern, just as it's making it on the weekly. That's taken 2 weeks to complete, and it's right up there at this level. So we're getting ready. If you remember, when we had Bill Meridian on from Cycles Research about 2.5 weeks ago, he talked to us about the possibility of these bonds topping in early January, and that's so far what has been happening in our market because we've been down quite a bit. So we'll keep a close eye on that because that bond market, it completed that beautiful ABCD pattern up there at the 145.24 level. We did get as high as 145.30, and now we're trading at around 145.09, and I believe that's I think that trade should work. At least it's working now, but whether it does or not longer term, we certainly don't know the answer to that, but nobody else does either. By the way, I want to share something with you from my friend Dennis Gartman that he forwarded on, that I think it's a great quote that some people have on their desk to show them, reminding them that you don't always have to buy the top or buy the bottom. And it says, the band is still playing, the punch bowl is still not empty, but we prefer leaving the dance not quite intoxicated while the memories are still pleasant and the fights have not yet broken out. Dennis Gartman. Boys, that means don't be worried about buying at the bottom or selling at the top. Get a piece of the middle. If you remember, if you've ever read the book, My Own Story by Bernard Baruch, he said he made his fortune by buying too late and selling too early. So he took a piece out of the middle, and that's really, really great. Those of you that have been trading the Canadian dollar with us, we sold that second unit 2 days ago. That's working extremely well right now. And the first unit is just, it's got over 4 handles in it. So keep an eye on that because the Canadian could go a great deal lower if we get below that 132.40 level. We're trading around 132.80 right now. So that's an interesting one, to pay, very, very close attention to. I was speaking with Cy Monley yesterday afternoon, and he's got a tremendous idea about the wheat market because there's a lot of things happening because of these trade tariffs. The demand for Russian wheat has been extremely high. I was trying to post the chart to show you, and I don't know why. Ordinarily, it's real easy. I just take it out of my Snagit and put it in, but Snagit will not acknowledge it. So I'll have to figure it out another way, and I'll bring it to your attention on Monday. Plenty of time on this, I believe, but it shows that the Russian demand has been extremely bullish, and yet our demand is relatively small. Any short-term chart on the gold, like a 1305 target? Oh, Maria, 1305 is that you got to start thinking a lot bigger than that, honey. And I mean, honey, in a collective way, of course. But just look at this gold chart, folks. Just give me a second here. Come on, let's look at this together. This is no fundamentals. This is just lines, okay? Lines and numbers. Look at this market. We went up to 1,300 in a beautiful ABCD pattern, stopping exactly at the 61% retracement. We made 2 ABCD patterns right there. It's taken 2 weeks to make a 382 retracement, and we're almost at 1290. We've almost taken the whole thing back. If we get over 1,300, you'll be looking at a minimum ABC. Of the last one takes you to 1,340. I mean, that's $35 higher than the old high, or $40 higher than the old high. That's what I see. I might be wrong, but I'm wrong a lot. Anyway, that's what I see. I'll post a shorter one when we get done with the break. 877-927-6640.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and gold has reached the 78% level right there at the 1292 level. We get much above that, folks. I think it's going higher, a lot higher. That would be my guess. So we'll have to do one trade at a time, but that's one that looks extremely bullish. When you make that 382 retracement, and it takes 2 weeks to do it, and really tight consolidation, only down $25 from the high. My goodness, that just looks extremely bullish in my opinion. But it's my opinion, and of course we know opinions are wrong quite a bit. So. Just keep in mind that these things can really be, be really pretty volatile, and you got to be able to pay a little bit of attention to them on a shorter-term basis too. So any move below that 1275 would negate this pattern. But right now, I'd have a hard time being short the gold. I said that just the other day. I mean, we took out the low the previous day by 10 cents and didn't go anywhere. For heaven's sakes, that's absolutely nothing. That's nothing going on there. So keep a close eye on that one. Also, we have a chart coming up, if I can just find it, and that is the one for the what do they call it thing? The emerging markets. It looks really interesting. I'm going to have to find it here, but by golly, I just put it up, and I don't know how these things disappear on me, but they certainly do. Let's look at another one that looks interesting, folks, and that is this the E-mini S&P here that we're looking at here. This is something that Dudette was talking about this morning. Oh, we got a caller in today. This is the chart of the E-mini. We got a caller in from Ontario. Philip, are you there? What can I do for you?
Hello, Larry. How are you?
I'm very good, sir. What's up?
I had a question about Mark Douglas, your good
Sure.
friend. I've read all his books on trading psychology, but he never really talked about his actual trading methodology. And I was wondering if you could, enlighten me on how he actually traded.
Sure. Mark was he traded bonds. I mean, 99% of the time he traded bonds. He really was very, very good at it. What he did was he used the opening price in the bonds. He would take, whatever that opening price is in bonds, which at that time, when he moved here in '96, the bonds, we didn't have this crazy, after hour and stuff. So he would take that first 15-minute range and he would look for movements out of that first 15-minute range, and he would trade usually until about 10 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and then he was done. He had a goal that he liked to reach each day, which he was able to do, but he really didn't stare. Well, he didn't look at the machine very often and on. It was pretty much a mechanical system, and that's the main thing. I think if you wanted to know more about it, I think Paula still does it. His wife, and she's over in Palm Springs. If you just just do markdouglas.com, you'll be able to reach her, and she might be able to answer it a little better. But I traded with him all the time, but he would put his trade on, and then we didn't talk about that stuff. I mean, we talked about we weren't watching the machine and stuff. So that's the main thing that that I remember. But he was sure a fine man. He was awfully young, to die so young, only 67. So I think of him every day, believe it or not. Any other thing I can help you with, Philip?
So basically, it's like what you talk about in your book, Planetary Harmonics of Markets. You talk about your favorite day trading strategy, which is basically a 0.618 retracement from the opening price.
Yes, that's correct. I still do that. I posted several of these in Apple over the past it was early in the fall when Apple was up near the highs, and showed how that worked. Basically, what you're looking for, Philip, is you like to see the market open and then have a nice move away from the open, either higher or lower, and then when it pulls back to a 61% retracement, you buy it, and then you risk 3% of the value of the stock that you're in. Let's say Apple is trading for 150, so that'd be $4.50. You'd be putting a $4.50 stop on that, and your first profit objective would be $4.50. That will work, and there's a lot of little nuances that you can do to make it even better. One of the things, I don't know if you've ever heard of the thing called the key of the day, and that is where you take the high-low close and divide by 3, and that gives you a price. It's sort of like an index, and if you move that index, displace it 5 days forward, much like Amos Hofstadter did, you would have an idea of what the short-term trend would be, and that's another factor that would figure in. I'm thinking of doing a webinar about that, because someone asked me about it the other day in an email, and I remember the old theory behind it. But watch that opening price. What do you like to trade, Philip? What's your favorite thing that you like to trade?
I trade the E-mini.
Okay, just watch the E-mini. Do the whatever your range you're on is, do a high-low close divided by 3. That'll give you the key of the day. My software allows me to displace it, moves it 5 days into the future, so it acts sort of like a trend line. And what you want to do is you want to buy if you're above the key of the day, and you want to sell if you're below the key of the day. That puts you in the direction of the short-term trend.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
All right, have a nice weekend.
You bet. Okay, folks, we'll have Arch Crawford here in about 6 or 7 minutes, and we want to keep moving on here. I cannot find that EW. Yeah, I don't know what I did with it, but I know. Let's do Bitcoin here, and then I will get that that emerging market up here for you. But here, look where we are here with Bitcoin, folks. This is going over the last, the last 2.5 weeks. We're down here really near this Gartley pattern at right around 3,300. Keep an eye on that, because if it goes below 3,000, this is going to be a really, really nasty one, as far as something that would not make us very happy as making, in other words, it would be a failure of a pattern, and when those things fail, they're going to go down a whole lot lower. Here's the chart for the emerging markets. This was one of the reasons why we were so bullish down there around December the 26th, because this was making a beautiful double bottom at a 61% retracement and a 50% retracement. And as you can see, we're still in the process of making this ABCD pattern since early November, and that probably will be completed either today or even Monday, much like we're seeing here in this smaller ABCD that we have in the E-mini S&P. So that's another one that looks, pretty interesting. But that's what it seems like. Yeah, remember we had the same pattern folks, since we're talking about the E-mini, we should also talk about the Chinese market. And if you bring this up, you'll see that we had exactly the same thing for the Chinese stocks, only the ratios were different. It was a 78% retracement of the 2016 low and also a 61% retracement of the 2015 low. So the ratios were a little bit different, but the pattern was same, and that's what was interesting. And that's why, you know, that bottom was so very, very important there at that December 26th. If we go below that, folks, we don't even want to think about that right now. We'll worry about that, you know, down the road a little bit, just to see what's happening. So pay close attention to that. That's going to be a real interesting one. Stay tuned. We're going to have Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspectives, 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspectives on the line. Are you there, Sam?
I am here, Arch. Arch is here.
That is good to hear. Good to hear. Sam, we have something happening in, before we get to the stock market, a lot of talk today because we've had this really strong rally coming off of that 1275 level in gold. What's your feeling here in the gold market, Sam? Do you see anything in the astro charts that could make it break out to the upside?
Well, what I see is it's up against a heavy resistance point, which is a rising trend channel line that goes back to June, and it's a bit above the most positive thing it did is it broke above the 200-week moving average a couple of weeks ago, and we are up against it went above the 50-week moving average, and it hit this rising trend channel line. So I'm thinking that it's more a little bit sideways, and we may get some more correction before we go up a whole lot. It's up, what, 8 or 9 today?
Yeah, and silver's up a little too, so it hasn't broken out yet. It needs to take out those highs of early January, then maybe it'll have some legs, but we'll have to wait and see. We're certainly having a lot of volatility here in the stock market. Anything you'd like to add to us in the stock market of what we're looking at? I posted your index chart so the folks can see them, so you want to discuss those a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Well, the Dow Jones is the first one. We're up just about to the 200-day moving average now. So I would expect a pullback there. Whether it's today or next week, I don't know. The SPX is up against a trend line off the February and March lows, but everything is up against some resistance, except maybe the NDX is not, I don't see that it's up against much right now. It's a ways to go to the 200-day. And the bonds have been crawling along a long-term trend channel line, a little above, a little below in the last 6 weeks or so, after the good run up from, what was it, 136 or so.
So we've got a question for one of our listeners down in Florida, and that is, what kind of astrological software do you use to determine, these harmonic cycles that you look at in the market? Do you use anything specific, Arch?
Well, Solar Fire is a very popular program and moderately cheap compared to Wall Street stuff. And that you can pull up the charts and look at them. I have a more complex one. Well, they're not more complex, but Astrolabe, I like their programs, and I have, I'm trying to think of the name of it, chart something.
Was that the old Blue Star program?
I don't know, the Blue Star program.
I thought that's what it was. Many. Are those the folks up in Minnesota or someplace? No.
These are the folks up in Cape Cod.
Oh, okay. All right. Those are the people that came from San Diego and moved up there. I remember that. That was sure. I remember that.
It was Rob Hand and Gary.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah. Pat White died. Rob Hand has married a young woman and left, and Gary is running it right now with a couple of the people who helped start it.
Okay, we have a question for one of our listeners about the Solar Fire. You said it was a lot cheaper than Wall Street. What are we talking about for an astro program called Solar Fire, Sam?
Well, Gary has been working on updating it on a lot of things, and he's not finished with that yet, so you may want to wait till he said he'd be finished with it by May, but I have an old copy, so I don't know what it costs.
Okay. It's just a few $100 then, probably, mostly, right?
Gary
a couple
sent
$100
me one. It cost me nothing.
Yeah. So you're talking usually about $100, a couple $100 usually?
Well, $200 or $300, yeah. Not more than $400, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. It could be $150 or it could be $400.
Well, you know what? People could probably just Google in Solar Fire and find out from themselves, I suppose.
Sure.
Okay. All right. We have another question for one of our listeners about the long-term effects of this lunar eclipse that we had at perigee here on the 21st. What was your feeling of that eclipse? It got a lot in the news. Of course, here in the desert, it was absolutely beautiful looking at that blood moon. Do you have any feelings on that, Arch?
Well, some people were saying that we were following the pattern of 1987, and I noticed that in 1987 we topped on the real harmonic convergence, which was a week later than what everybody was celebrating, and it topped exactly on a 5-body conjunction, which was the tightest I'd seen in at least 800 years that I checked, and that was the top day in 87. Then it went down, 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 and it bottomed on the solar eclipse on the fall equinox on September 22nd, I think it was. Then it rallied. It turned around that morning. It scared the traders and turned around and had the biggest up day in points in history to that date. Then it rallied 2 days, 2 weeks, excuse me. And then on the lunar eclipse, it had the biggest down day in history in points to that date and started the slide into the crash. Mm-hmm. So I thought it might do that here, but it has... we are in resistance areas, and we could stand just a retest of the lows, but I'm not super bullish yet, at least till the Dow, till these things get above the 200-day moving averages.
Mm-hmm. Arch, one of our listeners is asking about a potential crash scenario. Anything you see in the cards here in the next couple of months that would cause something like that? I know you were on top of it back in 1987, and I just wondered if you saw, he was wondering if you just saw anything of that nature that could be happening.
Every crash that has occurred in the last 100 and some years has been in the same 40% of the Mars-Uranus cycle. And we got out of that cycle around the end of December, and it doesn't start again until close to the end of this year. So I'm not looking for a crash. I thought the eclipses might be dangerous enough to do it, and that hasn't happened yet. So if it crashes, it'll be out of the pattern of the last 12.
Yeah, well, they usually surprise us when we're looking at them the least. We had a flash crash in some stock yesterday. I heard on the news that it dropped like 90%. It went from $70 to $10 and then went right back to 70 and cost some people like $90 million. So, hey, Sam, can you stay with us for another segment, please?
Sure.
Okay, Sam Crawford, Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspectives. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. No
matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, we're back. We're talking with Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspective. Sam, we have a question from one of our listeners regarding the situation that we have with the government being shut down. Is there anything in astrological history that you can tell us that when this thing might end?
Well, I'm not that kind of an expert exactly, and I'm watching what the eclipses are doing, but I can tell you this, the president has Jupiter sextiling his Jupiter. It just went within 1 degree approaching, so I would say the next 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, he is golden, so it'll go his way, I would think. And after that, he has a very tough year, so anything could happen after that.
Wow, 3 weeks out of the next 48 weeks. That's not a good idea, Sam.
Well, I think that Jupiter thing comes back and hits 2 more times during the year, and I didn't make note of what those dates were, but I think it's once in the summer and once in the fall that they would have, a couple of weeks favorable to him. But I actually sent him that information to his wife, and I don't know if she got it or if she looks at it, or I told him, I said, this is the stuff that made Ronald Reagan great, so you might want to look at it, and here's the free info. Yeah.
His astrologer was named Joyce something, wasn't it? What was her name? Do you remember the lady from California that was Nancy's astrologer that they worked together? Wasn't her name Joyce something? I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. That's all I can remember.
I have a book written by her, and I can't remember it right offhand.
That's okay.
But
not a problem.
But she's not the one. She and Nancy and her husband both had lunch every Wednesday at a hotel in Beverly Hills with the top astrologer in the 1940s and 50s.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And he died on the day that Ronald Reagan's book came out saying that they were using astrology.
Wow.
So he was elderly and he was ill, but I wonder if somebody went over and unplugged his
oxygen level.
They didn't want him to. They didn't want the public to know about that.
They worry about that with me here on TFNN every day, Sam. So it's not a big deal. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for being our guest. We'll have you on again soon, and we'll keep an eye on these next 3 weeks here. With
one quick comment.
Sure, go ahead.
You remember those new high, new lows charts? That's still on the bottom, and it's bouncing, but it's bouncing. It's just barely coming off the bottom at all.
Okay, that'll be really interesting. Hold on here just a second. There might be a question from somebody else. Oh, her name was Joan Quigley. Mr. Peak was able to tell us that.
What Does Joan Say is the book that I have.
Yeah, right. We got a lot of smart people in that room. Thank you very much, Arch, for being on our show today, and we'll have you on again soon. So may God bless and be safe, my friend.
Blessings to you as well and all your audience.
If they want to reach you, it's Crawford Perspectives, and you're just listed just about everywhere in most of the major post offices. Your pictures are still there?
Yes, they're still there. But Art, if you just Google Art Crawford, that's the easiest way to find me.
All right,
there's
thanks a lot.
26,000 hits.
All right, Sam. Talk to you later, buddy.
Take care.
Okay. All right, that was Arch Crawford, Crawford's Perspectives. We got a market that's ready to move, folks. It could be related to the gold market, too. If we look at this euro, you'll notice yesterday we hit that beautiful 78% level. We rallied up. We didn't quite take out the previous high, and we all the way back down and tested 1,300 again. And now we're trading at 1,385. It looks like the gold. It looks like it's ready to pop out of here, and it's got something in its favor. If you'll realize that, we topped back here on January the 9th, and we've been down, straight down for 10 days. And when you ever have a 10-day move in something, you usually get a pretty good rally. So we could get one heck of a rally out of here without doing too much damage, and that would be equivalent to the gold. Now, we've broken above the 78% level in the gold, folks. That was at 1292. We were already trading at 1294 here, so with a high of 1294.40. So this thing has legs. So pay very, very close attention to it, because it's we got some rocking and rolling going on in the metals and in the euros, and well, even stocks could have a bigger move too. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Now the bonds, we believe, are still in a bear market. We've looked at this. We already talked about what's happening with the German Bund. And let's just look at something here. Let's just go back and take a look at this on a weekly basis here, folks. Remember, the German Bund is making a weekly Gartley pattern going back 3 years. Now, just take a look at what's happened here to our bond market when we topped 3 years ago. Way back in 2016, we made that beautiful 3-drive pattern ABCD, and all we've done now is make a 382, 50% retracement of the last rally high, which was 382 of that rally. This is a downtrend, folks, and it just looks lower. And if you've got Germany topping, you're going to not have any help to the bond market over here too, because they do have, there is trans market marketing there, because everybody finds the best interest rate that they can get. So this is going to be real interesting to see if that in fact is going to happen. So keep a close eye on that. If you remember the other day, well, I think it was just the other day. In fact, it was. Let's get this up here. This was this Canadian dollar trade that we were talking about when we were making that 382 retracement up there at 133.75. It's now 120 points lower than that, so that's a possibility of a larger ABCD here starting on January 1st. It took 13 days to make a 382 retracement. That's just the upside down version of what the gold did. Gold took 13 days to make a 382 on the downside. So that's one way of looking at support and resistance, I guess. I'm sure there's other ways, but that's what we're watching right now. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to continue that way or not. I will try to have Cy only on. It's really difficult now because Cy has he's part of the conglomeration now. His company has been bought out by Farm Bureau, and he is very, very busy, but we'll get him on the air. I chat with him, and whether we can get him on early in the morning or not, which is busy time. But we will have Rich Anderson on next week, and Rich will talk to us about this wheat market, because there's a real possibility here that something really big could happen to the wheat market. Because if China, which is a much smaller crop than we have, and their wheat has been going crazy to the upside, it is going to be it's going to be real interesting. I know S&P, I have those feelings all the time. Remember, it's much better to be out of a market wishing you were in than in a market wishing you were out. That's the key to remember. And also that quote from Dennis Gartman is, you know, don't be there when the last part of the party's there, because that's when it's the most dangerous. If you buy too early and sell too late, you'll always make money. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude. We'll be back to wind up the show in a little bit. So we'll be right back. 8 seconds.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to post a link from our associate trader here at Tucson, Arizona. My wife, Sarah. It's about a group in Hong Kong selling, really, it was a ripoff. It was a scam for Chinese people buying gold in Taiwan, China, and Hong Kong. Quite a bit of money that changed hands. Folks, you got to be really careful with this kind of stuff. I can remember in 1979, I had the FBI come into the Drexel office and put me in handcuffs because there was a guy up in Santa Barbara that had taken my name and my driver's license, and I don't know how he got all that information, but he opened a little office for Drexel Burnham Lambert there in a little strip mall that nobody paid any attention to, and he ripped off about $5 million of people selling gold that he never delivered. Drexel, being the stand-up guys what they were, wrote a check. So it was interesting because everybody in the office was laughing because we thought it was a joke, because these guys had tremendous senses of humor, but it wasn't very funny, and it didn't last very long, a couple of minutes, and they cleared it all up. But be careful out there. That we didn't have the internet back in those days in '79, and now that's really dangerous stuff that's out there, folks. It's really very, very dangerous. So pay very close attention to it. Now, we've completed that ABCD pattern that Dudette talked about in the S&P, exactly on the money at 2664. Spot on, dear. You get a gold star for that. It's already made 5 points. That's really good. Terrific. Okay, let's move on here. Keep an eye on this Canadian. I think it's got a long way to go. The euro, if we can clear 114 today in the euro, we got a pretty good shot. We've been to 114.92. So these could be big reversal days coming in here. We've got a lot of cover over the weekend, because if these are breakouts, we want to be able to look at some of these, because they could be really long-term moves here. And if we have a reversal in stocks today, which is possible, we'll wait and see what happens at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. Remember, next week we're going to have Stan Harley as our guest, and also Tim Bost, which is always good. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.